Hey guys, how's it going? This is Gabe back at Photography Dreamscapes, and today we're reviewing the ASUS ZenFone 2. Now, as you may have seen in one of my other videos, I submitted a contest video and won one of the specially marked ASUS ZenFone 2s. One of the first in the US to get to pilot one of these things. Very happy, but let's get down to the review. Okay, so it got shipped to me. Just got it and picked it up. Now, I'm gonna remove this. They seem to have included a T-Mobile SIM card with it. But won't show you any of the details on that. Don't really know why it comes with a T-Mobile SIM card. Maybe it was one of the package deals. I'll check into this later and get back to you on it. But if you look in here, we have our ZenFone 2 unit. And this is one of the best units, as you can see right there. It's the ZE551ML. And that is one of the fully packed models that comes with everything you could ever need. It supports 4G, it has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. I believe this is one of the 64 gig models. If I open this up further, you can see that I got a case with mine. And it's one of the flip cover cases which they advertise. Okay, so we're back here. It was just a little tough to pull open at first. Ooh, nice tight fit. Okay. Yep, definitely has that new phone smell. So we're gonna pop that out of there. And of course it comes with all your little tags and stuff that nobody ever reads. And we'll put that right there. If we open this part up, beneath here, we've got everything such as the instruction manual. It comes with the charger. I believe this might be the quick charge model as advertised. Comes with a nice little cable. So that's it for what's in the box. So it comes with this model that I got, I believe. Yep. So now if we take this part off the phone, we can pull this part off, pull this part off, get the phone unit. It has a pretty good feel in your hand, pretty solid for the price range that it's selling for. You see your dual tone flash up there, your 13 megapixel camera, and your volume rocker, which is placed on the back. Works fine for my smaller fingers, but other people have complained about problems with bigger fingers. It's got the selfie camera, front facing, then your rear facing. Power button on the top as advertised. Headphone jack also on the top, which is nice. Keeps it from butting up in your pocket as much, even though this unit is quite big. Got your charging slot on the bottom. And it's overall a pretty compact unit, even though it is pretty big with its 5.5 inch. Yep, pry off that back cover. Take a look at the insides before we start up the phone. Yep, so here's the inside, here's the back side of the door, back of the phone. And then here we've got our built-in battery, which is non-detachable. Something that's different about this phone compared to what I'm used to is the non-detachable battery, which means if you need to replace it, you're going to have to go to a certified expert or void the warranty, which is not recommended. Here's that little speaker they're talking about. And then there's your SIM and your other SIM. This is the 2G only SIM. So you'd only be able to talk with that one. This is your full support SIM, which is your 3G, 4G. I mean, it also supports 2G. Then there's your standard little SD card that you can put in right there, which is good. So now let's start this baby up. Okay, so let's go for the first boot up. Gonna hold down the power button here. Takes a bit of a hard hold to push it down, but you get your ASUS boot up screen that you'll see on basically any Android ASUS device. And you can see that it's starting up. Right there. Loading here. Initial startup might take a little longer than usual. So you get all your welcome settings. Wow. I guess this comes with 100 gigabytes of free storage. Okay. That's pretty cool. We have tap to wake and all that, so tap to sleep also, which is nice because this top power button, I'm not a big fan. I mean, it is nice, but it's a bit annoying. So, let's check out the case on the ZenFone 2. This is the case, of course, for the version I got, the ZE551ML. Just gonna pop this off. As for protection, the case doesn't look like it's going to give me the type of protection that I might be looking for, as I do a lot of outdoor activities where the phone could actually drop from extreme heights. But it does look like a case that would support productivity in more of a work environment. So I would be thinking about using this case along with a more durable one, and maybe switching them out depending on which environment I'm in. So we pop this on here. Snaps right in. Now it's like the phone and the case are one, which is pretty nice because a lot of phones have a pretty crappy case where they can fall out, but this seems to work pretty well. So as you can see, we're in a little bit of a darker environment now, and if I tilt this, you can actually see that the viewing angles on this are amazing. I mean, this thing is almost flat, and you can still really make all of the information. We've got our top viewing angles, got our side.
Updates at this point are coming hot and heavy, as this is only the second day that I've had the phone, and we're on the second system update. So this means that ASUS is definitely providing the updates needed to fix all the bugs that they may have been experiencing in the system. So far it's been running pretty smooth for me with these updates that I've been getting. But there's always room for improvement.
Okay, so here we've got the battery info, and as you can see, it's drained fairly well. Most of the energy went to the screen. I had my brightness about half the time, and then for the rest of the time, up until this 9%, I've had it on full. Wi-Fi took up 19%. I've been running on Wi-Fi, local home network. Then there's the Android OS, which I've seen a lot of other people commenting that it's been taking up a lot of their, you guys can see that Android OS has been taking up a lot of their, battery. It doesn't seem to be doing too bad on here. Then we've got like cell standby Android systems, media server. I don't really know what the media server is, but there's a lot of different things. We got device idle, Snapchat down there taking up the 1%. So now that I've had the chance to more thoroughly look at this phone after a day, I have concluded that it is a very good purchase that you should definitely consider. The case, the only problem that I found with the case is the lack of magnetic clasp to hold it together. I mean, this thing's kind of just flopping all over the place here, folks. I mean, I've noticed that, I mean, if you're just holding this, it'll flop a little bit. That's kind of a problem. But overall, the case is an integrated part of the phone because it replaces the back cover. And it does protect the lens. I've noticed with the with certain people's reviews that they say their lens will get scratched. Now this case kind of protects the lens a little bit. makes it so that there's at least a little bit like a millimeter of space between the lens and whatever you're setting the phone on, and that will definitely be helpful. Now what we're really looking at here is we're going to start with this little display port. Now you can double tap to wake with this, and it will wake up to your little screen here where you can, it is very quick so you got to be kind of snappy with it, where you can, okay, well you can switch between flashlight, weather, you got your time, your calendar, all those settings and all the stuff you'd expect, and then you can kind of scroll between them this way also. Oh, sorry, kind of got it out of the view from there. I mean, so you know, you can have the camera on, but it will turn off slightly. Let's go into settings here. You've got all your basic settings here, as you can see. A lot of them are your basic settings, but one of them is a little bit more interesting. The Zen motion, which is one of the points. Here's the Zen gestures. One of them is this down here, which you basically launch apps from having the screen off. For example, if I want to go right into making going to the camera, then I just draw a C, and so it opens right into the camera right here. I may have cut out the information because the selfie panorama was on, but that's always good. You power it off. You can draw a V if you want to make a call. There we go. Just didn't have the right angle on that. Then you put in your passcode and bam, you're right where the dialer is. And so that's Zen motion. You got your double tap to wake, double tap to sleep, as I already said. Double tap and then double tap. So that's always good. Also, another intuitive feature that ASUS has added on here is, for a cheaper phone, they wanted to give people options that were not commonly available. If we look at our window up here, we've got options across the board. You have smart saving, that's like power saving measures, which really comes in handy when your battery gets low. NFC, so if you want to pay like with your smartphone, you can actually do that with this device, which is very nice for the type of device it is. You got your standard Bluetooth and also your hotspot that most cell phones have. Here we go. So, there's quite a few apps on here already. As you can see, they didn't skimp out on giving you a lot of what some people would consider bloatware. I'll personally look through all of them, see what that is, see what I like, what I don't like. I'm just glad it gives me some options. As long as it lets me delete them, I'm happy. I organize them into photography, and the nice thing is, if you go in here, there's actually a smart group setting, which you just tap that, and because originally there were like 6 screens of bloatware that you could call, that they had on here. You just hit the auto organize and it just organizes them all. Another different thing with ASUS that I'm not quite used to is sort of this. This themes, oh my gosh, themes is something you would expect to see in your settings, but they have created quite an app for it, which basically you can keep out of mind, out of sight, because if you go to your home screen and you tap on your little option, your button right here that brings you to all your apps, and swipe up, you can get your management screen. The management screen is actually pretty nice. As I was showing you, you just swipe up there. You got your apps and widgets. You can edit your pages. You can do wallpapers. You got themes. You've got scroll effects. You've even got icon packs. I mean, what type of more customization could you ask for? Then you've got your preferences, your sync setting, your system settings. Battery's running low. Your system settings, and then you can go into more. So you don't really have to keep a system setting app ready, because it's all right here in this one page that you can access easily. And then of course you've got your Google Now. You just hold down your home button on the bottom bar, swipe up to Google, Okay, Google, what is the square root of 120,000?
Square root 120,000 is 346.41.
Just as an example there. You can customize your font, as you can see here with my time. ASUS has apps. Most of them, some of them you can get rid of, but most of them are actual system settings that you don't want to. So I just put them all in a folder right here, and bam, you've got all of them in one folder, nice and organized. Then there's all the Zen specific programs. You got your like PC Link, Remote Link, Share Link, and Party Link. And they're all just there too. Communication applications, you've got all your basics there. If we scroll over here, keeping it simple on the home page. Nice little weather bar at the top, shows you the weather. You get all your apps here. It comes with some pretty interesting apps like Mini Movie, which basically allows you to make a movie real quick, which is always good. If you're on the go and you just want to put something together, post it to your social media. I've tried it out. The preloaded themes, some of them are pretty corny, not gonna lie, but some of them are actually pretty good. You got photo collage, and a gallery, camera, and then social media. I just put some social media apps on here that I use. And there is a whole folder for Google. I actually deleted a few of the apps out of here. Well, disabled them, as you can't delete them. But Google apps, I'm pretty sure all of them have been preloaded onto this device, which is a lot, but you know, there's not much you can do. I actually use Gmail, use Google+, use Maps, use Photos and Hangouts, so yeah. Now, if you go down here, you got your camera, touch to enable low light mode. Now, this is the Pixel Master they've been talking about. So, let's see. It seems to work pretty well, considering that if you look at my other camera, this is an actual professional camera here, and it's got automatic adjustment for ISO, and it's picking up on my arm. But if you look at the cell phone, it may have reduced pixels, but you can see that it's picking up on my arm pretty well. So that's an interesting feature that they've got there. And here it is without the low light mode. Sort of the same, but it has less of the boost around the edges. Here are some test photos I took earlier. Okay, so as you can see, 3% of the battery is now remaining. And this is probably when most people would plug it in. They see their phone's about to die, they grab a charger, and they plug it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time the time it will take. There we go, start. It's all plugged in. And I'll hit it back on. I'll get you guys back on once it reaches full charge. Okay, it's been just over 39 minutes. So we're going to check the battery and see what it's at right now. Okay, so right now it's at 20%. It says 3 hours until full. You can see it gives you a nice little prediction there. Now when it was charging, I also noticed this, and I just tapped on it, and it says that it'll now charge it in 1 hour and 44 minutes instead of 3 hours. This is quite interesting, and it seems that it has taken away and canceled out all background apps, and according to what it read out before it came to this screen, it canceled the energy drawing apps out of the background and speeded up the process when charging is below 80%. Then it will move to the continuous phase and finally the trickle phase, as you see here displayed on the screen. Overall, I would rate the ASUS ZenFone 2 as a very good phone. With its amazing smart cover that allows you to double tap and have a quick view of whatever you'd like, to its easy to use functions of its home screen. Everything about the ZenFone 2 seems to appeal to me. There is slight lag when you're opening the camera, but it has been improved with the latest update. Overall, it's a great phone, and for less than $500, it's definitely worth considering. This budget phone is definitely competing with flagships upwards of $600. That's it for this review of the ASUS ZenFone 2. See you next time.